Hello everyone, in my previous videos I have covered the types of questions on HCF and we had covered till type 5. If you haven't checked out those videos then please go and check them out. I have created a playlist of all the videos that I have created till now on HCF and LCM. So you can go and check out that playlist. I will put the link in the description box below. Okay. So in the previous videos we had covered till type 5 of the HCF type questions, and therefore in this video I'll be starting with type 6. So in the type 6 we'll be seeing the miscellaneous type of questions that are framed on HCF. So let's begin with the first question. The question says that the max number of students among whom 1001 pens and 910 pencils can be distributed in such a way that each student get same number of pens and same number of pencils. Now see here, there are two hints, like it is talking about the max number, okay, max number, and it is talking about distribution. So remember this thing, that whenever in a question they are talking about the max number and the distribution, it is obviously asking you the HCF. Okay, this is a trick to understand when to find the HCF. Okay, if we are talking about distribution, okay, main hint in such miscellaneous problem is distribution. If in the question it is talking to you about distribution, it's clear that you have to find out the HCF. Okay, it is a trick for the questions when you are not at all understanding whether you have to find LCM or HCF, but here it is otherwise also very clear that I need to find out the HCF, because it is asking you the max number of student among whom I can distribute these many pens and these many pencils. So obviously I need to find the greatest number that can divide these number of pens and these number of pencils. That only is going to be my maximum students among whom I can distribute these many pens and these many pencils, right? So simply I need to find the HCF of these. Now here I can see that two numbers are given, and the most easiest way to find the HCF here will be the division method. Okay, so I will use the division method here to find out the HCF. It will go 1 times and I will be left with 91. Then again the remainder will become the next divisor and this will go 10 times. Okay, we can see that here it is going to go 10 times. Now there is no remainder. So what is my HCF? We keep doing the division till we get 0 remainder, right? I have taught you in the previous videos the division method. So 91 is my HCF. Therefore there will be the max number of student among whom I can distribute these many pens and these many pencils is 91. 91 is the max number of student among whom I can distribute 1001 pens and 910 pencils, such that they will get same number of pens and same number of pencils. Now in this question, if they would also have asked you that how many number of pens and how many number of pencils each student is going to get, then what you will do? Yes, obviously you are going to divide the number of pens by the HCF and the number of pencils by the HCF. So in this case what I am going to get, if I divide 1001 by 91, then here it will go 1 times, 91 will be left, again it will go 1 times. So 11 pens. Okay, and how many pencils is it? Sorry, not 1001. Number of pencils is 910. So 91 ones are 91 and 0. So 10 pencils. Okay, so each of these 91 students are going to get 11 pens and 10 pencils. Okay, because always we have 91 student and I have to distribute 1001 pens among them. So how many each is going to get? You are going to divide 1001 by 91. So each one is going to get 11 pens, and in 91 student and 910 pencils are there. So how many of them, means how many pencils each one is going to get? So you will divide 1001 by 91. So 10 pencils each one is going to get, right? So this is how we'll find out. Okay. So I think you got this question. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question is again under type 6 only. Okay. Because since we are covering the miscellaneous questions, so we'll be covering 1 to 3 questions under this type. Okay, this is our next question, that there are 3 consecutive prime numbers. The product of the first 2 numbers is 667. Find the product of the last 2 consecutive numbers. Okay. Now I have told you that prime numbers are the numbers which are divisible by 1 or itself. Okay, 1 or itself. So it is saying the product of first 2 numbers is 667, the first 2 consecutive prime numbers. Now see here, consecutive means one after the other, and here we should have some knowledge about like 667, like forehand knowledge, that 667 is the product of 23 and 29. Okay, it is a product of 23 and 29. This you should remember. This is an important point, and this can be asked in some exams. Like, you should know this beforehand, that the product of 23 and 29 is 667. Just remember this. Okay. And 23 and 29 are consecutive prime numbers, because after 23 the next, that is the consecutive prime number, the next prime number that I get after 23 is 29 only, because 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, they all are composite. That is, they will be divisible by other numbers except 1 and themselves. Okay, so 29 is my next prime number. Therefore, 23 and 29 are consecutive prime numbers and their product is 667. So we got our first 2 numbers of whose product is 667. The first 2 numbers therefore are 23 and 29. Now it is asking you the product of the last 2 consecutive. So we found out the product of first 2 consecutive. Now the last 2 consecutive means 29 and the third prime number, that we still don't know. So we can find out the next consecutive prime number, isn't it? It can't be 30 because 30 is a composite number. 31 is a prime number. So therefore my next consecutive prime number is 31. So what will be the product of these last 2 consecutive prime numbers? So you will simply find out the product of 29 and 31. So what will be that? 3 9s are 27 and 3 2s are 6 and 2 is 8. So here I will get 899. Okay. So that is my answer. So the product of the last 2 consecutive numbers will be, that is of 29 and 31. The product of the last 2 consecutive numbers is going to be 899. Okay. So first it was asked saying that 3 consecutive prime numbers, the product of first 2 is 667. Okay. So we know that 667 is a product of 23 and 29, which are the consecutive prime numbers. So first 2 therefore we got from there, and to find out the third one, you can just say that you can just see the next prime number after 29, and that is 31. So we found out our third consecutive prime number. So the product of last 2 means the product of 29 and 31, and that is 899. Okay. So so I think it's clear. Now let's move on to our next question, again under the type 6. Again under the type 6. So see. Okay, let me zoom it. We make it bigger so that it is visible to you. Yeah, it is saying that 84 maths book, 90 physics books and 120 chemistry book have to be stacked topic wise. How many book will be there in each stack so that each stack will have the same height too? Okay. So again, see, I told you that whenever we are talking about distribution, we go for HCF. Here, this thing, this point that have to be stacked topic wise. Stacking also is a type of distribution only. It has given you some number of books, okay, and it is saying that you need to stack them. Stacking is also a type of distribution only, like there will be an almirah and you need to stack it, means you need to put it in this column, then in this column, then in this column. So what we are doing, we are just distributing it in the different columns, right? So stacking is nothing but a kind of distribution only. So from there also you can get the hint that you need to find out the HCF here. Okay, so it is saying that how many books will be there in each stack. See, again, each stack is a hint that it is talking about distribution, like how many books we can distribute or we can arrange, we can stack in each of the stack, right? So that each stack will have the same height too. That is, you need to arrange these books topic wise in such a manner that each of the stack or each of the column of the almirah is going to have the same number of books, that is same height. Okay, same height or the same number of books. Okay, so we need to find out the HCF of all these three numbers. So here I will be using the reduction method because I am finding that reduction method will be the most relevant here. So these all are even numbers, so we can go for division by 2. So let's find out the, if I divide by 2, then 2 4s are 8 and 2 2s are 4. Here I'll get 45 and here I'll get 60. Okay, again these all can be divided by 3. So I need it will be reduced to 3 1s are 3 and 3 4s are 12, 3 15s are 45 and 3 20s are 60. Okay, now I think among 14, 15 and 20 we can write the 14 as 2 into 7, 15 as 3 into 5, and I can write 20 as 2 into 5 into 2. So from here also you can clearly see, and if you have some confusion you can just prime factorize and see that there is nothing common in all three of them. Okay, nothing common in all three of them. So simply the HCF from here is 1. Okay, now I need to compensate for the reductions that I made. So I'll multiply by 3 and I'll multiply by 2. Since I divided by 2 and divided by 3, so I multiplied with them at the end and I got 6. So 6 is the number of books that will be present in each stack. Okay, which means that in each of the stack I will have 6 number of books. It is saying no, so that each stack will have the same height too. So each stack is going to have 6 books. Now in the question, if it would have asked you that how many such stacks are possible, okay, if it was also asking you that how many such stacks will be formed or are possible, then what you will do, you will simply find out the like for 84 maths book, if I am arranging 6 books in each of the column or in each of the stack, then how many such stacks I am going to get? Obviously we'll divide 84 by 6. So what you are going to get then? 12. Okay, sorry, not 12, 20, sorry, not 12 but 14. Okay, so there will be 14 stacks which will be having the maths book. Okay, similarly I'll divide 90 by 6. So what I'm going to get is 15. Okay, and how many means how many stacks for chemistry books? Then I'm going to get 20 stacks of chemistry books. So it will be something like this. It will be something like, if this is my almirah, okay, then there will be 14 stacks. There will be 14 stacks of maths book. Okay, each stack is going to have 6 books. Okay, 6 books in each stack, here 6, here 6, and so on like this. There will be 14 stacks of 6 books of maths. Okay, then there will be 15 stacks. Okay, again there will be 15 stacks, or you can say 15 columns having 6 books, and these 15 stacks will be of physics books. And then next again you will have 20 stacks, okay, of the chemistry books, each stack or each column having 6 books. So each of these columns will have 6 books. So there will be 14 stacks for maths, 15 stacks for physics, and 20 stacks for chemistry. Stacks means columns, and each column will be having 6 books. So this is how you will find it out. Okay, so I think it's clear. And for this video I'm keeping it just 3 questions, because further we are going to start on the types of questions on HCF and LCM both. Okay, we have seen the types on LCM, we have seen the types on HCF. Now we will be seeing the types on HCF and LCM combined. So that is a new topic, and that will be starting from the next video. Okay, so in this video I'm keeping it till here, and if you like my work then please like, subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.